What's up everybody? Welcome back to Headbanger's Closet. Appreciate all you guys checking out the channel. So what do you guys think about the new Maiden record? You like it? Do you not like it? You on the fence? Maybe undecided? Personally, I dig it. I think it sounds great. I've been listening to it a lot since it came out. Picked it up the day it came out. Listened to it a handful of times that weekend. But it's a longer album. Not as fast-paced, just like the last one. So it's going to take me a little bit more time to digest it before I feel comfortable maybe doing a review. But I want to hear what you guys think about the album. So leave me a comment down below. Really like the enthusiasm that it's gotten, all the praise it's gotten since it came out, all the Iron Maiden love that I'm seeing on social media. I've got buddies of mine who are now just strictly like death metal and black metal fans, but they grew up on the classics. And Iron Maiden was one of those bands that they grew up on. And I really like seeing these guys go full-on teenage mode for all the Iron Maiden love with this new record. So I think that's cool. Also think it's really, really cool all the push it's getting in the UK to make the 60-year-old dudes in Iron Maiden the #1 release in the UK charts. I think that's badass. Get pop out of there and get Iron Maiden in there. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, hopefully I'll do maybe a review episode for you guys in a couple weeks, but I want to know what you guys think about the album, so leave me a comment down below. But this is not an Iron Maiden episode. This episode I want to talk about one of my favorite newer bands. They're called Power Trip. These dudes are from Dallas, Texas. They're a crossover thrash band. So it's like, to me, it's like a crossover between thrash and hardcore. The vocals from Riley Gale are like what I would look at as like maybe if Tom Araya and then maybe like Hatebreed got together to do an album. That's kind of what the vocal stylings are like, in my opinion. But the guitar is what drew me to this band. I'm all about the guitar tone and the riffs, and these guys have that in spades. So that's why I instantly fell in love with this band. Guitar's awesome, but to me it's really straight up like newer thrash with a lot of early 80s thrash influence and elements to it, including the gang vocals. A lot of the songs these guys have these awesome gang vocals, which remind me a lot of early Exodus. So I didn't really know about Power Trip until I went on that 2008-2019 Metallica arena tour. Did a whole bunch of shows on that tour. My good buddy James from the UK, Scotland, I believe, he was like, dude, you got to check out Power Trip, man. We'd always be out drinking. He's like, you got to check out Power Trip. You got to love them. So I checked them out. First thing I saw of them on YouTube was this badass video of them doing Execution as Tax at a house party. And Riley just jumps on the mic and goes, we're Power Trip from Dallas, Texas, and for the next 20 minutes, I'm really glad this is not my house. And then they just go into the tune. So I started listening to them. Found them on Spotify. I was like, all right, give them a listen, check them out. Instantly, the first 2 songs, I was like, these guys are badass. Just everything I want in a metal band, these guys have. So the first record I went and bought was actually a collection of like singles and EPs. Came out in 2018. It's called Opening Fire, 2008 to 2014. Just kind of take a minute to just really appreciate that album cover. Opening Fire is a picture of a tank, and there's a city in ruins, and then all the bodies. This thing is awesome, but you can tell it's a collection of early singles and EPs because it doesn't sound that well produced. You can tell they didn't have a ton of money to put into it, but you can tell also that this thing kicks ass. You can hear what makes Power Trip great on this thing. You got songs like Divine Apprehension, Suffer No Fool, which I mentioned the gang vocals. This has it. Brainwave, This World, Hammer of Doubt, which is probably my favorite Power Trip tune. Armageddon Blues, Lake of Fire, The Evil Beat, Acid, Questions, and Vultures. So this thing's badass. Check out the liner notes in the album. Picture of Riley jumping off a stage, and then the lyrics to the tunes right here. And this thing's on red translucent vinyl, which I think is pretty badass. Pretty cool Power Trip logo right there on the label. So yeah, really, really cool. Like I said, came out in 2018, and it's just a collection of EP singles and stuff like that from 2008 to 2014. The next thing I picked up is basically, I guess, what you would call their first full length. This came out in 2013. It's called Manifest Decimation. Picture the dudes on the back. You got the 2 guitar players, Nick Stewart and Blake Ibanez. Blake Ibanez doesn't actually play Ibanez. He plays that Randy Rhoads Flying V Jackson, which is cool. But this one kind of picks up where the EPs and singles kind of left off. Even though it came out before, that was like a re-release of that. You can kind of tell it just sounds a little bit better, better recorded and better produced. But they're some of the same songs. You get Manifest Decimation, which has another killer guitar breakdown towards the end of the song, and then like a kind of like a fade out, just riffage going on. Then you got Heretics Fork, which is a badass tune. Conditioned to Death, Murderer's Row with more kick-ass early 80s style gang vocals. Side B, you get Crossbreaker, Drown, Power Trip, and then Hammer of Doubt, which is just a phenomenal tune. This, you get that recording from a movie. I don't know what movie it is, but it's like, for I know down here in Texas, you're on your own. Then it goes in, is another badass guitar breakdown. And then, just like Manifest Decimation, kind of a fade out, just chug-a-thon with the guitars. Sounds so badass. If you put Power Trip on when you go to work out, when you want to run or something, you can have a great workout. Just one of those bands. Always headbanging. Every tune, no matter where you are. You're in the damn grocery store, you're headbanging. You're working out, you're driving, you're headbanging. It's just that kind of band, those kind of songs, those kind of guitar riffs. Once again, you got Riley jumping off the stage on this insert and more lyrics. And it's just black vinyl with just a solid Power Trip. Damn glare from the phone, but just a solid Power Trip logo right there. And then the last one I got is their most recent release. It's called Nightmare Logic. This thing came out 2017. And just like the other releases, every release just gets a little bit better than the one before it in terms of production and recording process. It just sounds better sonically. But everything that you love about the band's there. Just the riffs, the killer vocal deliveries, the badass drumming. Every song on this album is just a killer tune, not a skippable track. All killer, no filler. You got Soul Sacrifice, Executioner's Tax, Firing Squad, Nightmare Logic, Waiting Around to Die, Ruination, If Not Us Then Who, and probably my favorite song on the album is Crucifixation. Just a great record. More of the same from Power Trip, just all about the riffs. So great. I just can't say enough about it. Lucky enough to have been able to see these guys in support of this album. They came out with High on Fire. I don't remember when. I bought the ticket at the box office, so all they did was stamp my hand, and I went in, and I saw them open, and then I left. I was at the Masquerade in Atlanta. I didn't have a really great spot. I was kind of in the back, close to the bar, but they sounded amazing. They put on a great show. I just wish I could have got a little closer for some better photos. My photos kind of sucked, but I want to say that was like in January or February, right before the pandemic hit in 2020, but can't really remember the exact date, so if I had a damn ticket stub, I could have showed you and had the date. So there's the insert, Power Trip, fold it out. Pretty cool. And then here's the record. Just a standard black vinyl with a black label. So when they were out on that tour, they put out the single Hornet's Nest. And you could buy the single on the tour. Now, I didn't see the thing at that show, at the merch booth. In fact, they only had like 2 t-shirts, and that was pretty much it. But here's the single. It's a 7-inch flexi single, which is pretty cool. And this thing came out in 2018. It's called Hornet's Nest. More of the same from Power Trip, just badass guitar riffs, really, really cool vocals, sing-along type of stuff, and just a killer guitar riff-a-thon, chug-a-thon to end the song. Funny story about this, though. I picked it up online. I didn't really read the fine print that it was a flexi single. I was like, oh, it's just a 7-inch single. And my mail carrier sucks. And I honestly believe she hates the fact that I collect records, because half the time she doesn't put them by the door. She just barely gets out of her car or the mail vehicle and puts them on the windshield of my truck, or just leaves them in the driveway. A couple times I've gone out there this summer and they've been wet because it rained in the afternoon. Here in Georgia, we're prone to those really, really hot days where there's just a passing afternoon thunderstorm. So the box and the record get soaking wet. One day she put them on my windshield and it rained and the cardboard got stuck to the windshield. But I found this one in the mailbox, bent. The box was bent and I got pissed. I was like, son of a bitch, here we go again, another ruined record. But when I got it out and looked at it, I was really excited to know it was a flexi disc and it wasn't ruined. So yeah, pretty cool. Hornet's Nest, badass tune. What do you think about Power Trip? That was my collection. Hope you dug it. Well, what do you guys think about Power Trip? You dig them? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. Hit that like and subscribe if you don't mind. Go find me on Instagram, Headbangers Closet. I do my best to follow back. Put pictures of like my collection on there and live shows, pictures of live shows I've been to. There's a picture of the Power Trip show that I went to on that Instagram page, and it's a shitty photo because I wasn't that close, but you can see it there. So yeah, go follow me on that and I'll follow you back. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode. Like I said, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Power Trip. And appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll have another video for you guys very soon. Cheers.